Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Talk Books. Today I will be doing a review on It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. So I really don't know how I will be getting through this review without 1, being in a puddle of tears, 2, spoiling the hell out of you guys, and 3, just being utterly speechless. Because at the end of the day, that is what it did to me. I was just utterly speechless. I come across books that are hard to describe because you might spoil it, and this is definitely one of them. This might be the top one I've read to where it's really hard to describe this book, but I'm going to try without, telling you everything. You meet this young woman named Lily. Growing up, she didn't have the most easiest life, but despite her upbringings, she has become pretty successful in her 20s. She graduated from college and moved to Boston and opened up her own business. She has really done well for herself. And then she meets this man named Riley. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I was wrong. It is not Ryle. It's supposed to rhyme with mile, so Ryle? I don't know. So she meets this guy, and he is a neurosurgeon. He's really sexy, especially in scrubs. Smart and arrogant at times, but you can also tell that he has a lot of love to give to Lily. They form this really great relationship, especially built on honesty and trust, but she kind of questions her relationship when her first love stumbles back into her life. And his name is Atlas. He was her first love, and he was there for her throughout a lot of the trouble that she dealt with when she was 16, and he was basically her rock throughout everything. So when he appears, she thinks a lot about what's happened to her and everything in her past. And now that Atlas has come back into her life, things with Riley take a different turn. So, alright. A lot of people have said that this is their favorite Colleen Hoover book, and people have said that about November 9 and Confess and Ugly Love and all her other books that come out. So I wasn't sure if it was going to live up to that expectation, but this exceeded my expectations so high. I was absolutely blown away by this story and the courage that Colleen had to write it. It was deeply personal, and I knew even before I read her note to author, which I was completely just touched by that. Even before I read that, I knew that this book came from a personal place, because you can't write a story like this and not have at least gone through it. And I just knew from how she told this story that it did come from a really deep place. I felt it in my heart. Just made it a million times more heartfelt and just so raw, If you're thinking if this is my favorite Colleen Hoover book, it just might be, which is hard because Hopeless is really my favorite one. Hopeless has been up there for a long time, but this might just take the cake. But besides that, the character of Lily Bloom is definitely my favorite character that she has ever written, hands down. She is the most open and truthful character out there. Coming from a person like her and the things that she has witnessed in her life, it takes a great amount of courage and strength to open up to someone, especially a complete stranger like Riley, because their encounter was completely just out of the blue. When you're able to really open up about your past, it really does show that you were able to kind of forgive and forget and move on. Between the first chapter, I knew right away that she was a strong-headed woman. After everything that happened with her first love, she was able to open up again to Riley and kind of just let someone else into her heart. And she did that with ease. And sometimes, yes, that could backfire on you. It could hurt you in the end, but I never doubted her at all. There may have been times where yelling at the page, I was just like, don't do this, don't say this, you're better than this. But I had to just kind of take a step back and be like, well, There are a million of women out there like Lily. I put myself in her shoes and all these other women's shoes, and I knew that she was going to come out just as strong as she did when she was younger. Colleen created a really real character here, and she wasn't just this silly girl who was so vulnerable and did not know her own thoughts. No. She was completely grown. I just love the person that she is in the beginning and at the end. Now this book kind of has two stories in one. You kind of get to know her first love and then the story of her current love. And I loved seeing the back and forth. Colleen is good with going back and forth in time. And I absolutely loved having to read about Lily at 16 because you really saw who she was then and who she has become now. And I just absolutely loved Atlas, even though I was falling in love with Riley as well. It was just so hard, but in no means is this any type of love triangle. It's just two men who she fell in love with. Having to witness her and Atlas and the things that they struggled together was just so beautifully done. So much maturity there. You get the love story of Lily and Riley, and right off the bat, Riley, he just swept me off my feet from the beginning. Like I said before, there was so much honesty between them that I just really loved. I like that about their relationship, because sometimes when it comes to a love story, most of the time they're not very honest in the beginning, but they were here, and I just liked how their relationship progressed. So that is all I could really say in the spoiler-free section. Yes, I'm having a spoiler section. Just know that this is a very important story to tell to many people, and it's a book that guaranteed is going to touch you in many ways like it did me. I don't even know how many times I cried, honestly, in this book. There's so much raw emotion in this book that it just fell on me. Like, I just couldn't help but feel just these intense emotions. My feelings have never been so all over the place, and it broke my heart too many times, but it picked it back up again in the traditional Colleen Hoover way. And I have no doubt that many people are going to fall in love with this book and fall in love with the story, fall in love with Lily, because she is one of the most important characters. Her story is just beyond important to tell and to bring awareness of. I just hope whoever reads this book takes something away from it. Just impacts one person, then it will be all worth it. Men and women, please pick this up. Learn something, because I know you will, and just take something from this and pass it on to the next person. I give this book 5 out of 5 stars because it is pure perfection at its finest when it comes to telling a story. I will have all the links down below on her book tour. I might be going to the one at the Strand bookstore. I will let you know if I am for sure. But like I said, all the links to where you can buy this book and everything will be down below. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.